And we there. Hello there.
Hi there.
Almost late. Or maybe late for a few seconds. Anyway, how's it going? My name is Jarek.
And my name is Simon.
And welcome to our bi-weekly AMA. And if you have any questions, just keep them coming. As always, we have presentation. We have a few slides to show you, some news and some other things. And then jump in maybe straight away to the slides. Oh, not this one. That's going to be that one. Right. We're going to go through some questions from social media. Mm-hmm. And once we're there, we will come back to chat and see what questions we have from chat. As always, there's a few projects we can talk about. I mean, these are the major projects, by the way. So, yeah, Porthaven Quake, obviously Heroes. There's some news about Heroes, about shipping, right? About
yeah, there was an update today as well that came out.
I have also teaser announcement, so we show that one. Starcraft, obviously. We have some news about the Masters of the Universe Battleground, about Wave 12. Trench Crusade, if you have some questions, we also have some news about Trench Crusade. World of Tanks, yep, I've got something to show you. Heroes of Might and Magic card game. I do have some sample cards I can show you those things. And then obviously the next one upcoming, Duskhollow. So that's the main projects we have currently ongoing. Yeah, should we start maybe with, I can see some questions coming here straight away. What's today's topic of discussion? I don't know.
Well, we have all sorts of topics, right?
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Like on top of anything, we have like a normal bi-weekly update. I mean, if you want to talk about something, about market, about business, about whatever, I'm happy to have discussion. By the way, after Christmas, we'll do like a year snapshot. I'll do one of the after Christmas will be about how we did last year. Well, this year, but you know, after Christmas, after New Year, that's what I'm gonna do. So gonna be a little bit about the business, about the future, what we see, what we think, what we want to do, what's the plans for 2026, for 2027, and so on. Hyped, yeah, for Starcraft. I mean, there's lots of people hyped for Starcraft, so that's great. Lovely minis. I mean, yeah, in terms of miniatures, you're gonna see more and more from us. I mean, we almost showed everything that is gonna be released on the first wave, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, but obviously we are currently sculpting and working on wave 2.
Yeah, hi Jarek and Simon, how are you doing? We're doing quite well right now, yeah?
I guess so. I'm not complaining.
As well as one can do in today's world.
Yeah, it's just like, it's crazy. Work is crazy at the moment. So, as we have to have the Starcraft ready to release in March. So, you're ramping up now. And about Starcraft, there's one question which is not there yet. I haven't seen it about the playtests. So, I believe our social media will be posting information about the playtesting tomorrow, if not after weekend, but it should be this week or next week. Cool. Let's go maybe Shimon over there.
Yeah, so a question from the Discord. Duskhollow, can we get teasers to other core themes? Even if they don't happen, just what do you have at the idea stage? It'd just be some more excitement that's terrain-based rather than mini-based. So right now we're holding off a bit on releasing teasers. Oh, we're not? Okay.
So yeah, my team is not gonna be happy with me at all, as always. Because it's gonna be tiny teaser, so it's not full screen, so I'm not classifying this one as a teaser whatsoever. It's a mini teaser. So yes, we do have like other sets we're currently working on. And as I said, sorry, my team, I needed to do it.
Okay, well,
some of the things we work.
Yeah, this is still just a work in progress. So
yeah, very early. I think there will be some small corrections here and there to that one. But yes, there is more, and it's only a work in progress. And as I said, it's a small image, so you don't see it in full scale. So it's not teaser. Mm-hmm. It's a mini teaser. So that's that. Then we have...
assuming you had the option of a Warcraft IP, would you rather focus on designing a TTRPG with some of your already made, as well as new and licensed terrain, plus your own set of rules, or a war game set in the Warcraft universe, like with Starcraft, or both, with the option of using miniatures from one or the other, similar to War Machine, Wargame, and Iron Kingdom's TTRPG, but all the way older Warhammer RPG worked?
Well, if at some point, obviously, if we go for Warcraft and Blizzard will be happy with us and they're gonna give us the Warcraft, then I think for that project we would start definitely with miniatures games, because that's what we make here, right? I mean, for last few years we've been ramping up the manufacturing technology and basically know-how of plastic injection. Now we just have to use it to the maximum. So any projects, actually, there will be one more big project, by the way, which we yet not announced, with some other company, and it's gonna be miniatures game. And I'm also waiting for that one. It's gonna be probably released in September. It's gonna be only retail release, so yeah. But I will keep that announcement till probably March, maybe after we release the Starcraft. Then we will really, make announcement about the other projects. So yeah, It's not with Blizzard, it's with the other company. So, but I think it's going to be huge. By the way, we have like loads of questions regarding shipping, and I believe we are probably gonna find some here asking questions about what's going on with the Heroes shipping, whether we unpack the containers or whatever. We provided update today on the Gamefound. I was actually on the packing manufacturing today just to see and overseeing what's going on and how the thing's going. So I can tell you that right now that we pushed out our hundreds of parcels today alone, just one day. So there's only a few pictures. I think you have more pictures at the Gamefound in the latest update. So it's happening, it's going out of the door. We don't know how many of them we're going to get it to before Christmas. What I know for a fact, this is the message I got from Michał before the AMA, is that we're still waiting for another 7 containers to come from China, and they should be round about halfway through December, which means that maybe almost is now, right? It's 11th, so should be next week or week after, but it might be a little bit too close to get them to ship, because obviously the Christmas period. So some of the things will go for next time. And USA was offloaded in quarter logistic last week, and it was actually 3 weeks delayed. It was sitting 3 weeks in port to get tariffs paid and all those thingies we needed to sort it out. So we sorted out eventually, but it was taking 3 weeks to get the containers moving from port to quartermaster logistic headquarters. So that is done. They already have that one, which means that they're gonna start shipping maybe next week or week after. So very, very close to Christmas again.
Yeah, we'll have to see again. It's just something that we're hoping for. Again, it is a very busy time, so shipping can be take a bit longer.
Yeah.
Just got foil KV2 foiling on the the tanks.
Congratulations!
Crazy, yeah. Congrats.
Yeah, World of Tanks is one of the projects which was like on a sidetrack. Really, wasn't like let's make it major. But all of a sudden it became major. All of a sudden we like really was it's crazy in terms of sales, and we sold out like entire warehouse of what we ordered. Then we ordered another batch of exactly the same numbers, and we sold out that one. And today I've been told like we only have like 17 packs on the shelf, and we still needed to fulfill like 400 to 500 just to to get out of the door for the order. So we don't have enough. And we won't have it because we have to wait for the next wave of printing. So that's going to be next year.
Hope to see some finalized gameplay of StarCraft with each faction to understand the gameplay and see faction-specific abilities before the pre-orders go live. Yeah, we do have plans to record both a how to play and a battle report soon. So you'll be able to see that on our channel.
It's probably going to be myself or Sławek or myself and you, because it meant to be Dave and you. but Dave is actually off sick and he won't be able to record it and everything. He's got a problem with voice. So it means it's going to be have to myself or maybe you. We'll see. I need to speak with Slavik, which going to be the best option. Definitely for that one. How to play. So the battle report will be recorded on Monday next week, and how to play on Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. So
I thought it was Thursday and Friday, but maybe the dates.
No, Monday. We pushed because we needed some content to be there. I need to only double check with the team whether we have all the nice printed component. I need to make sure that everything is like spot on there. But some of the things will be still to clarify. Some of the things will be still to work on, because what you're going to see is going to be still alpha rules, or I would call them beta rules, because now we're in the stage when we say that the rules, the core rules are not going to change much. It's just basically fixing the things, and we're moving into stage of balancing the game. This means we need loads of playtesters and lots of playtests to happen to balance the factions. But what's funny about the balance, last 3 test games, they end up in a draw. 2 of the games, out of 3 games, test games we had internally, 2 of them end up with the 19 to 19 points, 21 points, and one was actually leaning towards one of the faction. But hope the balance stays like that. Very close games. They are the most exciting games. Yes, so when will the playtesting for Starcraft open up for applications? As I mentioned, the idea is it should be some information tomorrow on social media, if not then next week. But we want to have at least a number of people sign up for to send them miniatures, models, everything, and play the game in January. And then we're looking at very, very intensive feedback sessions, so across January, February, and potentially beginning of March, because obviously shipping is commenced towards the end of the March, but round about that time, I think end of February is the maximum time we can afford to actually get everything balanced, at least balanced to the level when we are happy with it. I mean, it's not like the game is not balanced, it just basically needs a little bit of touches here and there. Yeah, the devil is always in those details.
Hey Jarek and Simon, thanks for today's update post about home board game. I think it gave us a lot of hope for an amazing Christmas.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, not everyone will get it before the new year, but for those that do, we hope you have a good time.
Yeah.
Hi Jarek and Simon, any news about the release of the start of Duskhollow? So Duskhollow is planned to launch Q1 next year, right?
Yes.
Probably going to be around about the time we start shipping Porthaven.
Exactly.
Like with all of our other DNL campaigns. So yeah, around about that time.
We always overlap. The beauty of the Dungeons Lasers campaign, there was always overlapping. So we start shipping and we run straight away the another campaign. So I think Q1 looking March, maybe beginning of March, because we need to do it before we start shipping Starcraft.
For Starcraft, could you release terrain size guidance early so we can start building stuff?
Oh yeah, we will. Let's have a look.
Yeah, more questions from the Discord. So, any news towards the ship? We're still right now for the Prismacast schemes. We are working on them for the add-on specifically. We're focusing on them for now. But the scheme for the ship, we're still going to be working on it, I believe, in soonish.
Yes. Yeah, we are finishing some urgent IP terrain, which wasn't yet released, maybe in the future. But once this one is finished, we are jumping straight away to ship, because we need to start. It's December, so we need at least 2 months of painting. So
it's not just a secret project; it's also like the add-ons for Porthaven as well. Like there was the sewers and the city streets, which. The update was planned to release today, but it wasn't. So we're going to probably release an update either tomorrow or soon, just showcasing the new pre-painted sets. Some of you might have seen our post on Facebook as well, showing the new sewers. So yeah, you can look forward to more details soon.
Yeah. we sent all the pledges that are already in Poland before Christmas. Everything we have, we're gonna be shipping tons of it and as much as possible before the Christmas happens. So we cannot be specific about whether, yes, we're gonna be able to do that because it's depending on many factors. Like, the courier company might actually not take the stock from us or whatever, but in general, that's what we plan to do, making sure that everything which is actually here on a shelf, which needs to be out of the door to you guys. Hero battles, what year? I think 2026. The moment sits in next year, Q3 or maybe Q4. So it is happening. It's another miniatures game which is happening. This one is much more heavy miniatures game than the other one we're going to be also announcing for the next year.
Yeah, I have seen some sculpts already being made for Heroes Battles.
And we did show them here as well.
Oh yeah, that's true. Ago, yeah. So some more questions from here. How far along are you with the cloth sales on the Ghost regular ship? So with the cloth sales, again, that'll be addressed in the update that's coming out soon.
They were working on them yesterday, I've seen on the screen. So they were doing some screenshots and photos, I think, just for the update.
Duskhollow, full walls, half walls. Have you reached a decision that we can expect a survey soon?
Anything time in terms of survey will have to be next year, just beginning of next year, because at the moment we're going to be having this survey for Starcraft, survey for playtesters, and we need to focus on that, and we just have limited assets at the moment, and basically people are going off for holidays, people going off sick, so difficult to get more done.
We've seen a lot of miniatures, but very little terrain for a terrain-focused crowdfunding campaign. Can you show us some more stuff, or maybe tell us your ideas? So basically, at the beginning of every campaign, we always focus first on on the miniatures that are meant to be gifts, like the crowdfunding bonus and the follower gift bonus and stuff like that. And once that's done, then we go to showcase the terrain. And right now we're just focusing on getting it physically done, so we can showcase it in better detail, basically.
Exactly. So also I've been banned, so my team banned me from showing you anything except what is approved, unless I do some tricky bit and hide something between the lines here, or I'll show you the tiny picture, but team wants to keep it for themselves for basically marketing purposes, most of the things. So especially the stretch goals, right? Because the agreement is we're only going to show what will be available at the get-go, but not the stretch goals.
Yeah, you want to stress test StarCraft, find a load of competitive 40k players. They can break games wide open in no time. I think we experienced that not too long ago, right? Someone came over.
Yeah, but it wasn't breaking the game. They didn't break the game.
They didn't necessarily break the game, but they did kind of showcase.
Yeah, they did a play. Wanted to see. But they didn't break the game. That's good. Yeah, sure, man. I mean, in general, it's not about kind of breaking the game. It's basically making sure they're finding any syntax errors in the game, or whatever you call them, 404s, just to make sure that the game is good enough, not good enough. It's basically very good to release. Just a few notes here. It's a war game. Some situations in the war game, you never, unless you're gonna create a rule book out of 300, 400 pages of how to play war game, and nobody's gonna play that war game except hardcore war gamers, you're never gonna have a perfect war game, because there's so many varieties. Open table, always people have different ideas how they want to play. They want to use different, it's not closed system like you will find in a board game. So this is why the board game needs to have ideal, perfect, one-to-one, extremely good rules, because you have closed environment, you play in that closed environment, and everything outside cannot move outside. In the wargaming is more like RPG systems, right? So sometimes some fluent things needs to be happening. So every single wargaming designer will tell you the same story. So for me, the core rules work. The core rules are actually very, very good, because it doesn't allow you to do any crazy things. Why? Because we don't have that many crazy things in a war game, like you will find, line of sight or terrain. The most important, we do not have any extreme complicated terrain rules, right? For we have very simple rules for terrain. They are simple blockers and then ramps. So we don't have like, a massive amount of things which might cause, issues and problems like you will find in the 40k at the moment. 40k is not the best state, and the main one is basically the terrain rules. So we don't have that. So but the rest of the things play very, very well. We just need to make sure that once we have enough playtest done, people will find that something colliding with something in terms of factions rules, in terms of unit rules, but not the core rules. And going back to Starcraft just quickly, the whole concept and idea about the leasing is once we got to get out, we're gonna give like 6 months of playtest, not playtest, 6 months of people playing the game, and then when we have another wave of releases, we'll look into it whether it requires some fixing or whatsoever. So the game will be fully supported on that regard as well. Now, here's the interesting fact. What I heard, we have one of the ex-Games Workshop designers doing some work for us, and we had a discussion about how other companies do things, like when they release the game, why they like provide FAQs at day 1 or day 0, I would say, patch. And it's very interesting because he mentioned that when you create a rule, you have like other designers come in and say, oh, look, this rule actually collides with this. And then, they fix it. And all of a sudden, for 1 sentence rule, you have 2 sentence rule. And then other designers come along and they, provide all the feedback. And all of a sudden, from very simple rule you wanted to have in the game, you have like a full 10, 20 paragraphs of the rules. So what they sometimes do, they just let go those sleeps, and how they fix it, they have fix it just to telling people how they're supposed to play. So they tell people in FAQ, this is how the game intend to be played, and that's it. And it's actually quite clever because you have so many things might happen in a war game, then you won't be able to predict every single situation. So I like that one. I have different plan for that, by the way, not FAQ. Obviously, we're not going to be doing FAQ on day 1. I think in our rulebook on the margins on the side, we will have like a notes, and it's going to be designer node, and that designer will tell you exactly how the rules needs to be played, like what's the intention for the rule. That could work very well.
Are you considering making the factory and bulwark factions for home in the future? Maybe, we'll have to see.
Yeah, just stay a few minutes. I will show you something in a sec. Yeah, okay.
Will StarCraft playtesting be available on Tabletop Simulator, and or would you consider playtesters in the US?
Yes, we need playtesters globally. We need feedback as well as different regions, how different regions think about the game. Because as you might know, one product might be popular in one country, but might not be popular in another country because the reception of the product, it's not for that. Like, it's a good example, a board game. So Euro games are very popular in Europe, but when it comes to Ameri games, they only in USA. That's the name. So, and they have completely different feeling of the game. So yeah, same here. We need to know whether in USA, UK, Europe, how they feel about the game, whether it's not too overcomplicated, is for the need, for the liking, and so on. And Tabletop Simulator, I don't think so. We plan to ship models, miniatures. So all the playtesters, we're gonna get miniatures models, because part of the feedback I want to receive from you is also feedback about the miniatures and models. So what we can do better, what we should improve in the future when we scope and design models for this. Yeah.
StarCraft, are ramps part of these simple terrain rules you mentioned?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you have elevation, but elevation is through ramps. So like in StarCraft, you have those ramp and then, the thingy, the hill, like a flat hill. So yeah, they look awesome. I mean, we do sculpting one of them, so we have to sculpt it for the purposes of doing, rules examples for the rule book. So yeah. The rest of the containers, they should be offloaded this month. From my understanding, that's what Miha told me, should be uploaded this month. This is for the wave 1. For the wave 2, it's 2026, so we don't know exactly when, but they should be packed and shipped to us. Because wave 1 is just English and Polish, right? And that was planned to get before Christmas.
Yeah, wave 2 is looking more like Q1, Q2 right now.
Yeah.
In Starcraft, does the damage spill over? Can a Hydralisk kill 2 Zerglings with 1 attack if it deals 2 damage?
Not specifically Zerglings, because they have a keyword which stops that, but in general, yes. We change that rule, and in general, yes. We make it much more simple. But Zerglings and anything which is smaller is immune to that, so... So we do playtest, yeah, we playtest. Right, let's have a look, because we have lots of questions, and we're already 25 minutes in.
Once there will be expansions for High/Dark Templar, will the respective box also include an Archon, or are both units sold separately?
Oh, they're gonna be definitely separate releases. 2 separate releases.
And Starcraft again, what do you think of different websites or applications that track your prior games? For example, BattleKit.
Oh yes, that is, yes. We talked today about the campaign mode, and then through that campaign mode, we think we should have something like, web app, which help us to track the campaign. So yeah.
Starcraft, are we getting unique colors or themed D6s for the 3 factions on a rolling tray? And what accessories do you have in mind?
Custom dice, yes. We currently work on a custom dice. So you're gonna get a bunch of dice anyway from the starter box. You don't have to buy the custom dice, but custom dice, come on, we've got to have it.
Will the unit upgrades, for example, the grenade launcher with the Terran Marines, be just 1 model, or does the entire unit count?
Sorry, let me go back to the custom dice, because I just realized what I just said. Custom dice, I mean D6 dice with 6 being a faction logo. Sorry. Yeah.
So specific upgrades, like for example the grenade launchers for the Marines, you can only have 1 of them per unit. It looked like from the demo multiple models were equipped with upgrade bits, but I wasn't sure if that was just to show off the coolness, or you could do...
you have those upgrades. So you can upgrade the slug thrower, for instance, the pistol. You can have upgrades for grenades for the miniatures. So if you have that upgrade, you just glue them on the miniatures. So yeah, we have all those upgrades which the miniatures meant to have. Like a shield, for instance, you may glue it or leave it without it. But shield is actually upgrade for Terran Marines.
Duskhollow, any chance that at least some humanoid miniatures in the Marines pack or miniature pack are pseudo-modular? Ideally something like there's an intended position, but you don't want it just cut off at the guiding nub. Monopose stuff is great until you want to get more than one pack, or 2 people get it for you as a gift independently.
Yeah. So what do you think, Shimon?
I mean, honestly, I haven't been following Duskhollow too much. From the miniatures we have right now, they're mostly character minis, which only have monopose. Some of the creatures maybe would consider that. But yeah, if like monster minis, maybe we'll consider that, doing multipose.
Yeah, I want to show you a little bit of what you find. This is the Terran Marine sprue, right? So you will find those things on there, like those shoulders grenade launchers. You might not see them yet. Am I spoiling something? You might not see them yet, I think, on the miniatures, but yeah. And then obviously slug thrower pistol, and we have one. This is one of the sprues, and it's not on that sprue. But in general, you have also bayonets. You can glue those bayonets. Let me show you. Bayonets on your weapons on C14 rifles. So yeah, that's what you find, and also obviously the grenades. So that's the grenades. And I wanted to show you the full extent of the quality, but my camera doesn't really work very well today. Normally, it's good at actually zooming, focusing rather, not zooming, but this time around it's not. But anyway, that's what it is. Yeah.
For Starcraft tournament purposes, are you guys cool with people 3D printing the terrain and using it along with a side official terrain, or are you strictly just about using your own stuff? And what are your plans so far for tournaments, like local or official events?
Yeah, so anything which is like a competitive play and tournaments will happen, but not at the first not at the first releases. We want to do it for the second release, just because we want to give you enough material to create meta and play it, because
properly build an army as well.
Yeah, because this is just like brand new game, so we won't give you. I mean, I understand the people's expectations will be, oh, we need like XYZ, but you have to understand we're only gonna giving you basic units really. So we want you to play with those basic units, and then once we add another wave and then another wave, I think we're gonna be focusing 100% on a tournament and those things. But yes, we have plans for that. Now,
yeah, but if someone's like running like a local tournament, like you can pretty much do whatever you want.
Oh yeah, definitely. But it will still get our support, but it's not gonna be like a national level of, oh, let's release the game today and tomorrow we have to start doing tournaments, right? That needs to come first of all naturally, and then also people needs to start playing the game, used to the game. It's a completely new system, completely new game, and so on and so on. Going back to your first question, we don't mind, as long as it's not official tournament, which is like official made by us. Then we will have to provide terrain, and it only can be played on an official terrain, because then it's an official licensed product. So we will have to take photos and all those things. Yeah.
And what will a standard box look like for StarCraft? For example, a standard Terran Marine pack. What is in the packaging? How many Marines and transfers?
Okay, so I can tell you standard Marine at the moment box is 9 Marines in the box, and there is no transfers. We talked today about transfers. I don't know where to do it. I don't know who's going to do it, and there's a big risk of not having them on time for shipping, so we won't have a transfers. Yeah, so standard box. At this stage, we have a Founders Edition box, which is 2 player starter box. We call them Founders Edition. You will find some additional miniatures and some additional content you are not gonna find kind of normally, or you will find in the separate boxes in the future. And then we have a Protoss Founders Edition box and normal for one player starter boxes. So that's 5 SKUs, and then individual boxes for each of the models. Oh, units, I should say.
Building instructions, or are you doing QR codes, because Zeros will have a QR code on the box?
Oh no, we plan to give you a full manual, physical manual, like you will find in Zeratul. So it's gonna be printed manual. Yes, it's gonna be lots of printing, but that's the thing. People still want to have compare apples to apples, and one of the things people gonna comparing Games Workshop products to our product is there's no manual. I would like to see the manual exactly the same way. So yeah, we have to give you manual. So in terms of fluff in the book, not so much. Not so much, because we might not have time to get as much stuff approved as we would like to have it. So no, not much fluff, but everything you can find online. I mean, that was the question I was going to as well answer. So the same answer is here. Yeah, that was, we don't ship anything randomly. So the way the containers are coming to us, they come in with the batches of manufacturing batches. So we put those manufacturing batches into warehouse, and then we pick up the manufacturing batch and ship it out. And that's it. So what you've seen on the photos, this is what we're shipping. So big box new, we're shipping currently big box new. Once we clear this one out, we're gonna move to another big box or another wave of pre-packs. So yeah, yeah. Okay, let's go.
Will rules always just come out with the unit, or will the whole list of rules be available for all units at launch? Right now the plan is to release the rules as the unit is released as well, or the miniature.
Yeah.
Multi Battleground. Does Archon's multi-license also cover the adventures of, new adventures of He-Man? So if you've never ever finished with releasing all the original characters, I'm curious if you will ever see some from new adventures, like Hoof, Optic, and Slushhead, etc.
There is at least 300 characters we can use at the moment still with multi-license. So there is no really need of, thinking that we're gonna run out at some point, because we just covered maybe, 30 of them, 10% of them. So there is still a lot to release, for Motu. I've got some announcement, by the way, about Wave 12 in a minute.
Duskhollow, can you please create a pledge without modular terrain for those who are only interested in miniatures and or non-modular terrain?
I think for the miniatures, we're probably going to have like add-on, so you can add another way, so that you can construct your own pledge with add-on. I think so. I think we've always had it, no?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe we usually just make it available through add-ons.
Yeah, I believe as well.
Any plans for what returning sets for Duskhollow will be? Right now, it's still a bit far away from that, I believe. So no. Some
Porthaven elements, ship.
Well,
ship, that's for sure.
Obviously, yes, but I think he's more referring to like legacy sets, for example, pre-painted sets, possibly.
So if anything, that's gonna be only pre-painted sets, legacy pre-painted sets. Trench Crusade. I think it was the Trench Crusade question here. Let's have a look. I think I missed one because I think
that was like at the beginning of the stream.
Yes, let's have a look. Let's go up. Where is it? Yeah, so that should give you some idea about the quality in general in terms of miniatures we plan to do. So the Trench Crusade is, today we sent out the newsletter to some of our distributors, and obviously that's the thing. I'm not going to be showing you exactly what is going to be released, because it's not the right time yet, and we still have to work on those things. It's a little bit crazy at the moment to show you, but in general, what we plan to do, what guys from Fantasy Fortress Factory Fortress do, along with us, we're going to be adding additional sets. So you will find 3 additional sets, 3 new sets adding to the setting. And that's it, what I'm gonna say today about Trench Crusade. So that was just like to answer the question, because there was like lots of discussion regarding, are we going to be doing any follow-up? Is gonna be more releases? What's not? Actually quite large. What we plan to do with them is huge. So stay tuned, but we're shipping in February, so street date is around about March. We are soon, at some point, probably after Christmas, we'll have pre-orders on our website as well, on Archon Studio website for this as well. But at the moment, we're starting with pre-orders from distributors. So yeah, that's for the Trench Crusade. And for the Q1 releases, just to show you what exactly is hitting the stores. So obviously that's the Wave 2 of World of Tanks. So again, this is March, so don't panic. You still have time to play with what you have from World of Tanks. And then we have a set of miniatures that is going to stores. And then obviously we also have the Battleground and the Masters of the Universe Battleground Wave 11. And then more pre-painted trains. You might notice there is no Starcraft here nor anything else. This is separate. That's going to be separate in terms of pre-orders. So that is what is definitely is going to happen, and so on. And the rest of the stuff, it's depending on everything. If we get 100% approved. So we still have to work on packaging approved and all those things. So yeah, once we have everything there, we will do it. I think the pre-orders for Starcraft, because that's the question about the date, pre-orders of Starcraft, I think we should be starting around about January, end of January, and maybe January, and then shipping March. So around about 2 months. So it's like tiny micro, how they call it, crowdfunding. Well, not even crowdfunding, just pure pre-orders, and then we pack, and it's gonna be coming to you. No, it's in terms of what we receive is a mix of things. So one of the problems why we couldn't start shipping straight away. We need to collect the things, select the things, and put them in the right racking.
Yeah, we need to organize them.
And organize them, because the container itself, what we do, like everybody, we pack the container up to the roof. Just make sure it's fully filled. So you have portion of one batches, second, third, four, 5 batches. So, and then all of a sudden, if you have like 5 containers, you have everything in different container. And not only everything, just like in a small batches, because the combination for how many different type of pledges we have, pre-packed pledges, it's like 50 different SKU. It's a big one, so it's not a small one. It's a huge logistic operation to get everything there.
Thanks for the answer. One more question, if I can. For Wave 2 production to complete the late pledges should be closed before that. If Wave 2 contains all the late pledges, any update on that? So essentially, they're asking when we're planning to close the pledge manager.
Oh, I don't know. I need to speak with my team. It should be soon. It should be definitely soon. Mm-hmm. The late pledges is not the problem, because we always order much more stock than we needed. Actually, late pledges are good to have it, and when they come in, because we don't have a leftovers of stock here in the warehouse after we finish shipping everything. So we need to order anyway always more quantities, because at least 2 to 3% is actually what we have, like equality issues from manufacturer. So on top of that, we need to add another 6% just in case to have like in a store, and then additional 5% to have maybe.
Yeah, it's a long way out, but does Archon plan to have a presence at BlizzCon?
Maybe. It's not confirmed yet, but maybe. I mean, it shouldn't be any secret. You probably know that other company which makes like Diablo, they had a stand at BlizzCon. So logically, if, using the same case study, we would like to have it as well. So I say maybe, and yes, once we have confirmed this one, we will definitely let you know. Okay. I will show you something. Come on.
The winds of change are sweeping across heroes of might and magic the board.
Hello, Meow.
Ancient powers are awakening. Strange machines stir to life, and the mightiest fortresses stand ready to war. Follow us on social media, because next year, the war for glory begins anew, and you will want to be there when it happens.
That's it. So yeah, 3 new expansions are coming. I think the video is self-explanatory, so we don't have to explain much. But yeah, this is what is coming for heroes.
What other IP/universe would you like to base your dream product on? Not asking about the secret one you've mentioned or any realistic future.
Well, Starcraft.
Yeah.
What other IPs? I think our own IPs.
I mean, he's saying more like, what would you want to base it on? Like, take inspiration from, essentially.
Oh, take inspiration from. I think the Starsight, our IP Starsight is just basically mismatch of everything which is pop culture out there. So it's difficult to say. It's difficult to base on some other IPs things, but I want to have a Grey Aliens because I believe they exist. I want to believe. We want to have some Naga, so which is basically something which I like it a lot in Warcraft, for instance, any other factions, but really like reptilians. So again, I want to believe, but the kind of reptilian faction. Yeah. So
Dungeon Keeper, that's a good one.
Dungeon Keeper, yeah. Yeah.
For me, I'm
Dungeon Keeper, that was the IP I was fighting to get it, and I failed. Like, one of them which I failed, and we had like long discussion about it. Come on. And they said no. At the end of the day, they said no. It's like, maybe we were not strong enough to, or maybe I wasn't convincing strong enough to get Dungeon Keeper, but Dungeon Keeper is actually very interesting. We even designed a game which is very similar to Dungeon Keeper, which uses actually dungeons and laser tiles. So some project we can come back at some point. And back then, actually, this is interesting fact, because back then it wasn't working for me, because the way we wanted to do it was like, okay, we only going to use a different color tiles. Now we have a pre-painting system, so we can actually paint them correctly the way we wanted to have it, like at this original campaign. So maybe at some point we will think.
I'm honestly, like for me personally, I'm a big fan of like older cyberpunk series. I'm not like the biggest. I know like cyberpunk's like all the rage right now. Specifically, like Cyberpunk Red, 2027, or 2077. Sorry. Wrong edition. I don't know. I think there's. It just has a specific charm to it, like the older Cyberpunk series, and editions as well, specifically for the RPG game as well.
Yeah, there's also a game called Black and White, which I was looking at. Black and White could be also interesting as a board game, especially. You do think like a Populous, right? You are got and people might like that one as well, but that's literally like a long shot. XCOM, I know who's got the license. I won't tell you. I know exactly who's got the license. It's not gonna be a good game, but I know who's got the license. I should have said that out loud. For it, and it's not Fantasy Flight Games. This game is gone. It's other company. For XCOM. Unfortunately, we were also in discussion for XCOM, and it was me. I dropped the ball. I totally dropped the ball. We were very far advanced in a XCOM discussion about the IP, and I dropped the ball because we said, well, you know what? At the end of the day, we have our own Chronicle X, which might be even better than being fully limited. It's a XCOM, and any type of IP is sometimes limitation, and Chronicle X wasn't limited to anything. We can do any crazy things there, and I think the Chronicle X deserve kind of going back and fixing, because we have much more experience now, much more knowledge, and we can remaster this game properly, let's say. Shadowrun I love. Shadowrun I would like to have it, but WizKids is never gonna give us this one. They never gonna sell this one whatsoever. I would wish to have it. If I had the Shadowrun, I will make like everything from RPG systems to tabletop miniatures games to board games to card games, absolutely everything, because it's just such a.
Don't get too carried away.
Yeah, I know, but WizKids is not gonna give away. It's no such a money they're gonna. Oh, I just spoiled it straight away. So, quick one. We can announce this Wave 12, Q2 of 2026. As you can see, WizKids owns the Shadowrun. I'm pretty sure they do. I'm pretty sure they do. They own the rights for Shadowrun. This is theirs. Because I was literally a couple months ago googling it, checking who's got it, and it says to me it was WizKids. Double check. If not, let me know who own it. I'm just gonna pack a few cases of money and fly them and try to buy them, buy them, whatever, anything. Just
Listen, please don't take him seriously.
Yeah, well. For Shadowrun? I don't know. I know who's got also AT43, but it's not probably going to happen soon. But there is a company who owns the rights now for AT43 from the French company, from the they did Confrontation as well. I've got so much, so I don't know. I keep losing my memory. But going back to Battleground, 2 new expansions, obviously Great Rebellion and Snakeman, and this is the characters we're gonna be releasing, obviously with the additional bits, like obviously Madame needs to have a broom, so she will have her own broom and so on, so expect quite a lot. So we keep going, we're going back to releasing new content for this game. Although Wave 11 is a new content for retail, it's not maybe new content for many of you because you got it through the campaign, crowdfunding campaign, but Tops is actually WizKids. Tops is WizKids. So Tops is the owner is the same owner, by the way. It's just kind of the same company. Tops, yeah. The same people, by the way, same people, absolutely same people. So, actually, maybe now with Jason not being part of WizKids, maybe I should try it.
I really feel like you shouldn't be sharing this.
It's like really long.
Guys, just please turn your sound down for now.
I'm not gonna be saying much about that. So okay, let's move on because I might be saying too much. There was
You think?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Have you been thinking about making a World of Warships into a board game or miniature war game? Would be super cool with more arcade approach, like Star Wars Armada, to ships than standard historical war games.
Yeah. Maybe not as much as the IP World of Warships, but just make it like a ship battle game, much more historical. This is something we don't have in our portfolio.
I honestly, instead of like a ship game, I would honestly prefer like a proper airship game.
Airship.
I mean, like yes, steampunk airships with like you like manage like individual crew members on the ship itself. You like move them around the ship. I think that'd be really cool. Personally,
faster than light.
Kind of like that, yeah, kind of like that, but on like an actual field.
I mean, I told you Zeppelin game over an airship game is for me. I mean, because you can use so much fantasy things. You can have dragons there. You can have all the flying thingies, not only the ship itself, but you can have everything. Thingies. But this will be part of the our universe, which I called at the moment it's called Invoker game. So then Invoker I did like wrote things I want to have it. I really want to have this technological level of having a lot of the not very like air balloons, but you know what I'm saying, like those zeppelins powered by magic and so on and so on. So there will be then we can extract this one and use for the game in the future.
Mm-hmm. Will Heroes Battles have minis on movement trays, or how does it work? So Heroes Battles is a rank and file, so it will have minis on trays.
Yes. Shadow won't be great. Actually, NECA owns the WizKid brand. They brought it from Tops back in 2010. But let's... Okay. Okay, so maybe my intel wasn't sufficient enough. Okay, I have to finish my stream now and go and send some emails. Okay, thanks for that. I'll check with NECA. Maybe I can get into somehow. I always get into. If they throw me away, I will use Chimney. If they throw me away, I use some Windows. No, regardless, I'm gonna get in. Cool. That's right. Okay. Need to check with Tops. Cool. Let's move on. World of Tanks. I want to show you new things. The team constantly work on World of Tanks because the second wave, obviously, second wave is 150 different arts. That's quite a lot and quite challenging. But they promise to finish them all off before Christmas, just to make sure we start production on time. In January, it needs to start production for second wave with the March release, obviously. So yeah. So World of Tanks is we're gonna continue. We're gonna obviously support this one. At some point, we will do more things for World of Tanks. So the rules also gonna get some additional elements will be added into the rules with the future releases. So expect that one as well.
Warlord Games has a cool ships mechanic. Mantic uses the same rules or close to their fantasy ship game. Yeah, I mean for the ship battle game, I love X-Wing. By the way, I think X-Wing actually the original game was Wings of Glory. Wings of Glory is also quite a good game, by the way. Highly recommend it if you're looking for any type of dogfight combat games.
But that was the first one which used this type of hidden movement mechanic, which I absolutely love. And the Wings of Glory use cards, but then they changed this one in dials for other games. And I think that one of the first game wasn't that the Star Trek miniatures game was using first this type of game rules, and then X-Wing adopted kind of. But I really like it. I love this gamble kind of hidden movement mechanic. For the dogfight game. For the ships, that would be different. I mean, yeah. Mantic's got its own Armada, isn't it? There is they have like Armada game as well. They did that some point ago, but I think it's just like disappeared.
I wish you guys got Berserk because Monolith ruined it. I haven't been following it too closely, the campaign, but I mean, honestly, I'd be scared for us to touch Berserk, simply because it's such a revered piece of work that it's almost impossible to do it justice in any kind of adaptation. Honestly, it would be very scary to work on this.
Maybe that's why they got some bumps or issues. Cool. Let's have a look what we else have. Oh, Quake, by the way. So we did update a little bit of Quake page on Gamefound. We used some assets from previous video games just to give you something to start with, but obviously every single one will be revamped because the idea, we will see the miniatures, by the way. So there's going to be lots of miniatures, especially for Quake, from previous Quakes. At the moment, I think we have 2 or 3 just done from the Quake Champions, isn't it, like a heroes, but we're also moving now to the other miniatures from 3 previous editions of Quake. So that's the next one on our agenda. I think it's moving quite well in terms of game design. So the game is very interesting, and it's not what you may expect it. So it's different, it's fun, with extremely unique game mechanics. So which is good, which is really good. So it really stand out from this type of games. Oh, that's it for today.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on through some questions. And if you don't, yeah. Oh, it will be. It will be. I need to check with Tops. Why I was confused with Tops. What was the story there? I don't know what was the story. I need to check what's the thingy. Correct, they still have Armada available. I have quite collections. Okay, so it's still moving ahead with Armada. That's good. That's good to know.
With Starcraft, how limited are you on using established terrain designs once seen in game compared to units? So I mean, we have as long as it's somewhat based on the design in game. I think we have a lot of creative freedom in designing them, right?
Yeah. We do have kind of, yes. So terrain at the moment of releasing the Starcraft, the terrain you will find in the the 2-player starter box is like a baby terrain. It's like a terrain we want to release it. I cannot show you. I've got it here, but I cannot show you yet. The terrain we're gonna release is very simplistic terrain, just for the game, make sure the game works and everything else. And really, we don't want to mainly focus on terrain, because terrain makes game extremely complicated, especially the complex rules for terrain. Just literally today we got like a diagram to show how in other games line of sight works, and it's just absolutely horrible to spend time discussing line of sight and all those things. So I believe we have very good terrain rules, which many designers which were here with us, even from other companies, we were showing the game and we're showing the terrain rules. They were very like, oh god, we should have that one in our game as well. So it's very simple. I mean, the terrain's got the size value and the miniatures got the size value, and that's it. There's nothing like whatever complicated. So if equals both, you don't see the mini. It doesn't matter whether the sword sticks out or whatever. It's very, very 0-1. It's extremely 0-1. We like it, and it focused. And you know what's crazy? what I just realized, really, when you play the game, you focus on tactical depth and everything else, but you don't focus on this additional terrain rules and all those messy things. We slow down the game, and just slow down and remove the excitement from the game, because now, oh god, this I need to check, or you see, you don't see, let me check it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I see you, you don't see me. Let's use lasers. All those things which are not needed in this type of game. So really, I mean, yes, for sure, some hardcore war games will say, yeah, I need my line of sight, true line of sight, because that's what I envisaged the
it probably just depends on the game, right? Like
exactly.
If it's like a more realistic, grounded game, like historicals, then you probably you probably need more realistic line of sight in those cases.
I mean, you play the by fire and sword, right? And that's the rulebook is like this. So you have like 400 pages of rules because they needs to be there, only because it needs to simulate the real combat on a battlefield. But
that's still pretty easy to learn, though.
True, but now imagine our rules in such a game. It wouldn't work, right? It wouldn't work.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
It's too simple. You need to have this additional level of complexity in the game because, and so on, so on. So yeah, that's there. You may be right about I was mixing both things because the tops in 2003 brought WizKids. Maybe yes. The X-Wing was first, Attack Wing adopted it, but wasn't quite successful, unfortunately. Are you sure? By the releasing dates? I wasn't sure which was the first one. I was sure the Attack Wing was first. No, Wings of Glory. Sorry, not Attack Wing. Wings of Glory. Attack Wing maybe was later. Yeah, okay. So, but I think Wings of Glory was the first one. But they use cards, not dials.
Someone's asking about the end of year business AMA. I think you promised it.
Yeah, I did promise. It's going to be in January because obviously now it's 11 December. We're very close to Christmas. I don't know if I'm going to find time for the Christmas kind of AMA. I wish to do it. But next week we have those Starcraft plays. And then maybe week after, just before Christmas, we will see. I would like to do it, and then I will do all those things about the business. If not, it's going to happen in January. So the first in January will be about how we did this year, what's the plan for the next year, and so lots of things changed this year, by the way, and many things in the business, in a business structure, in the machines, in a workflows, even shipping flows, many things. So yeah, it's crazy how much we could achieve in 1 year. And on top of that, we designed 3 games, 4th game to be released. We have like 4 games in the pipeline. We have many other projects to be released. So we will also do the schedule. I will do the schedule of releases just to show you what's the plan for the year. We will see how good we are, whether we can actually deliver. So yeah, but most of the cases almost the plan is completed. So yeah. And also it's a challenging time, by the way, so we can talk about the business. The biggest challenging time is USA at the moment. With tariffs, with, uncertainty in terms of how you run the business, because, you can sell the product today and charge people for product today. All of a sudden tomorrow, it's like crazy tariffs on top of that. So how this works and so on, it doesn't work then. So yeah. But we have to be very cautious and very, very...
Yeah, the greed to fear scale is leaning more towards fear right now.
It is. Yeah, but, it's not the way to run the business. You want to know what's the plan for the next year and needs to stay with this plan. But, all of a sudden you wake up and you check your news and, oh, today I paid that much for the tariffs. What's going on here, And yeah. I don't believe the Games Workshop is even bothered by 3D printing. I don't think so. 3D printing is great for really hobbyists, but it's extremely complicated process and expensive. You have to get yourself a machine. They keep breaking. You have to maintain it. Not many people want to have this hassle. And I think it's actually going more into people wanting to buy physical products, because you go to store, you get it from shelf, you go home, you assemble. Or maybe you can order it on Amazon and get it even the same day shipping or next day shipping. Like, I think the physical product, if you can do what Games Workshop is doing, so deliver the product at least in enough quantities on time to stores and not spoil the releases like 6 or 8 months before the releases, you're in a way where people is not gonna be doing 3D printing at all. And yes, the technology is moving, but I would say the way we look at 3D printing for the last 3 years is stopped. I haven't seen any new kind of revolutionary machines or great improvement. It's still the same smelly, toxic machine, toxic thingy, which might give you cancer, like resin, whatever, if you don't maintain it properly. And it still keep breaking because we have 3D printings. We do quite a lot of 3D printing. We have to for the reverse engineering, not reverse engineering, but prototypes and so on. Like, have a look. This one is 3D printed, so it's a marine because we needed to see. But all those things. And we know the hassle, we know the pain. And I can back this one up. I can tell you right now, I've got the data, and that data is simply speaking and having discussion with our friends who run different Patronite channels and the big ones, and they all like moving in a physical product. Why? Because all of a sudden people don't really go for digital anymore, right? They have too large library of those things. They don't need anymore. They're not going to be able to print all of those things at the same time. And then, there's plenty of 3D printing stuff available. So all of a sudden, if you don't see creators, you don't see the need of actually having 3D printers. So I don't think so. I mean, GW is not, they don't bother. Exactly. The plastic model will always going to be better than 3D printed models.
Starcraft, not sure if this was already asked. For future possible miniatures or tournament support, do your rights also include cardboard content? Imagine cutelings. So I believe our license for Starcraft covers everything Starcraft related, possibly including cardboard related content. Although again, we'd have to probably ask Blizzard. But for those specific things, for like cardboard style minis or anything like that, we'd probably only, if we do have the rights, we'd probably only release it as like either like a tournament thingy or like a promo model special, just like for being at a trade show or something like that. We're not going to be making, of course, like gameplay related stuff for them, but it'd be nice to probably have it as a model that you can just paint up.
Yeah, I don't have the specific ones because we don't track those things. As you might imagine, we give order to Chinese manufacturer to pack the stock, and it's always surprise to us what actually is coming on each container because they don't even know. They just basically say, okay, this is the 50 pallets or 60 pallets of products we put on the containers, and this is what is coming to you.
I think he's specifically asking about like the ship, not like what the containers.
Yeah, but the ship and the containers, it's mixed back anyway. We still haven't received like a second batch, so we don't know once the second batch is with us, we're gonna be able to do that. Mm-hmm. So it's always the best way to describe this one is we have to get everything, get out of the container, count it, put on a shelf, sort it, and start shipping. That's what we should do, really. Just to make sure that we have everything, because mistakes happen, and all of a sudden we might find out, like we did in the previous campaigns, that manufacturer in China haven't manufactured enough of egg specific pledges because there was a mistake at their end in terms of manufacturing. So, yeah.
Plastic versus 3D printing. At the end of the day, it's down to the person. I know many kits will struggle to retail a price that is competitive to printing at home. So mostly depends on what you want. It's just different. It just depends on what you want, really.
If you want to pay, this model is $90, right, or $60, something like that. This model was $35 on. It's a massive Balrog model. You're gonna like for $35 on our campaign. During campaign, obviously, now retail is much more expensive. But if you want to print it, it's like $20 just in resin. It's no point of actually printing if you're gonna get full plastic model, right? And then if you get misprint, that's your $20 down the drain.
It's also, that's more specifically for us because we're in a special situation where we control our manufacturing and we can set the price we want to
Oh
essentially.
yes, I understand. Okay. Yeah, sure.
But for like people that are ordering like plastic injection kits from China or other companies, it can probably be a bit more expensive, or quite a bit more expensive.
That's true. Yes, that's true. Okay, I think we're gonna finish for today. I need to see how Neka is doing. What else there? If we're not gonna see you, do we get some today? Not today, but they're gonna be part of playtesting set. So along with the miniatures, we're also gonna be sending those rules for playtest. So all 3 factions will have to go through. If we're not gonna see each other just before Christmas, so I'm gonna wish you all the best. Happy holidays. Have a good rest, recharge your batteries. I'm gonna be working because I just wanna.
That's how you rest.
Yes, I can rest it by working because nobody's gonna interrupting me, right? So it's like my doors are over there, and my doors, the people coming through that door is like plenty of them every day. But in all seriousness, guys, we wish you all the best, and I hope to see you before Christmas. Just do one more AMA. If not, I'm gonna be seeing you after New Year. Have a good one. Stay safe.
Happy holidays.
And happy holidays, and enjoy the heroes. Bye bye.